Okay. Well, if any of you have kept any news, Disney has decided to deliver the ultimate blow against any gamer, pretty much every single one of them, and they've killed LucasArts. In fact, they've shut the entire studio down. And as for Star Wars 1313 and the other one, whatever, has been canceled permanently. Gone. And I know what you're all thinking. Why is Disney doing this? Even though there really isn't a question why. It's painfully obvious, but I'll really illustrate for you people. You know, the ones who want to look at the obvious elephant in the room and just pretend it's not there. You see, Disney, yes, LucasArts was losing tons of money, but that's not the reason why. The real reason is Disney. And you gotta understand, a lot of business people out there, mainly I like to call the stupid people at this point, are idiots. Mainly idiots when it comes to video game marketing, because we are essentially heading into a second crash now, thanks to Microsoft and Sony. Nintendo tried to get us out of it, but thanks to people like Michael Patcher and a lot of people who like to make shit up about technology and say and get up and say an ATI Radeon 1900 XT can somehow beat an AMD Radeon 4700. So yeah, Nintendo is failing because, people want to enjoy, I don't know, the original Xbox and keep playing that. At some point that Xbox has got to go and you got to update. But no, they don't want to. It's like looking at that picture of the Orange Lantern from DC Comics. Basically, Orange in the DC Comics is basically greed, and the guy was clinching onto it, yelling and screaming, "Mine, mine, mine! Don't touch! No one touch!" That's pretty much what the Xbox 360 is turning into. Or I can just say the average Xbox fanboy is basically Smeagol from the Lord of the Rings series, just screaming, "My precious! My precious!" Because the idea of a new Xbox or new gaming consoles coming in, it scares them. And, they don't want to give up that Xbox 360. They can't. It's just too hard. But anyways, back to Disney, because I was rambling. And see, Disney has this massive problem with their sales guys and their business plan people, and along with some of their developers. And that is that they think, and I'm not kidding, they think that iOS and Android, and maybe even online, is going to kill the console market. That the console market is going to die when these things come out in full bloom. And they have not done very good in these markets. And yet they still think that this is where their market should be, period. I'm not joking. And now, if you watch Samuel Tech Geek videos, he basically says that the PlayStation and the PS3 and all the cell phone games are going to become great hits. But he mainly ends up defending these moronic idiots that literally are getting up there and saying stupid shit like, that the smartphone is going to completely destroy the console market. In fact, some people, and I'm not joking, this is real, actually believe that the iOS with the iPad and all that and Android is going to not just take over, tear down the console market, but people will stop buying TVs and computers, and all they would need is just the iOS iPad to do everything for them, even though it's logistically impossible. And there are some massive problems with iOS, especially with Pages unable to be imported onto a Mac, and Mac unable to port its Pages on. There's a way, but it's just not something I would want to go through. I mean, it's just painfully. Even though there's a simple way for Apple to do it, but they won't do it. You know, importing a document back and forth between two devices. Horrible, horrible. I mean, that's why Pages on iOS ain't doing so well anymore. Because it doesn't really sync with Pages on the app on the Macs. So, yeah, it's a clusterfuck. But it did sell well when it came out. In fact, people are saying, well, I'm able to sync between the two. Okay, show me. I'll show you later. Get their iOS device and find out that they're not syncing shit. They just bought it because, you know, it's the fucking in thing to do. Dumbass motherfuckers, I swear to God. And, of course, with the introduction of Apple TV and the Mirror Play, they were like, oh, that's going to take over the consoles and kill them. You know what's funny? Apple's not selling fucking Apple TVs anymore. I mean, well, no, they're selling them under the bargain bin areas, but they're not making new Apple TVs. In fact, they've taken the Apple TV off the entire fucking market list. And I don't see Apple TVs going anywhere now. And the whole on live thing, you know, that was supposed to take over and destroy the consoles, they went bankrupt and is bought by an unknown person now. And even that, they're still losing tons of money that they're probably going to be in danger of going out of business again. Yeah, OnLive is still around, but OnLive's only around because of rich white people who supported it and kept supporting it. But even their money is starting to run out because, you know, there's only so far you can take a bad idea and keep chucking money out of it before, you know, you run out of money. And the main reason is that the technology just isn't there yet, you know. I mean, yes, it's our future, but OnLive's not going to make it. There's no way in fucking hell OnLive's going to make it to that future when, you know, streaming video games is about as easy as they are to stream movies. It's just not there. Yes, streaming movies and streaming movies and TV shows, that's easy now. We can do that shit. But video games is a completely different fucking monster. And the iOS, and especially with Disney, have you seen the Disney games on iOS? Let me put you in a better word. Remember when I was ranting about how iOS games are just rip-offs of other iOS games? Well, that's essentially the entire Disney library under iOS. And every once in a while they come up with these console ports just to make up for the losses of their iOS games. All of them. Basically, mostly they're just shovelware games, which pretty much is half of Disney's library anyways, that people end up buying and then deleting because they realize they got themselves a shit game. That's just not worth it. And that's the unfortunate truth of Disney's money-making strategies now. And that's what they are, and that's what I knew they were going to do with all of Lucas's business plan. It's just, you know, cancel all the, the good games, the games that could actually make them money, and just go with the shovelware crap on the iOS and Android, which honestly has already gone from ridiculous to bad to just, seriously now? You're trying to sell me this? And your people are actually going down and buying it because they're stupid. Way to go. I mean, seriously, this is why I'm losing faith in humanity right now, because they're ridiculously stupid and dumb. They actually believe Apple TV was going to replace the console mart, was going to kill all the major consoles. And now Apple TV is gone. There are people that actually believe that OnLive it was going to destroy the consoles. OnLive is dead. And, of course, it's in danger of being killed again because people are still believing that magically this shit is going to work again. And, yeah, there are still people out there who believe Apple TV is going to just suddenly going to come up and, you know, they're going to suddenly have this massive update that's going to make video games, that's going to make consoles just dead on Xbox 360 and PS3. I mean, even when I tell them to their face, Apple is no longer making Apple TVs anymore. It's a failed market. They still continuously believe it. When the great video game crash happened, PC sales started going up for obvious reasons. Mainly because Atari was fucking up on a lot of things. One of them being that they really wanted to hold on to that 2600, and they sat on that 7800 console for a long time and spat out the, what was it, the 5200? Yeah, and the 5200 was shit. By the time the 7800 finally came out, no one gave a flying fuck anymore. Atari was pretty much gone. Nintendo had raped the living shit out of that company. But thanks to Atari, the PC market had gained so much of a market hold that when Nintendo came out, they, pretty much took over the entire gaming community. Because the main reason why consoles always succeed is simply the fact that people are idiots. And unfortunately, with this whole mess with iOS and Disney shutting down LucasArts, that's pretty much made true. But I mean, what other large device are you guys going to go after and say is going to kill the entire fucking entertainment systems? And because people are seriously hurting my head with the immense stupidity. I mean, there are people out there, and yeah, I used to put PCs together and repair them. And I can tell you for once, there are people out there who have these custom built PCs and shouldn't even fucking have them because they're too fucking stupid on even on how to put those things together. It's not everybody. I mean, if you know how to put a custom PC together, more power to you. But if you don't know a fucking thing about custom built PCs, don't ever get one.